Hello everybody. I met Geno Biancheri, known as Geno Powerlifting, in powerlifting a few times, and now I consider him my good friend. He is very well known and probably the best powerlifting announcer we have in IPF. And as a person, he is a very good gentleman. And I asked him if I can ask him some questions. You can call it like a brief interview, and he happily agreed. So I recorded this brief conversation with him, and I'm going to present it to you. And I hope you will like it, you will enjoy it. Thank you very much. Okay. Hello everyone. I'm with my friend Gino, and I wouldn't say that much about him. He's pretty well known in powerlifting world. He talks a lot. 10, 12 hours a day, he always talking. But today, it's my turn to introduce him rather than because he always get the paper, oh, this lifter is doing this lifter is doing that, and this and this and that. I put him on spot today. Gino, what do you want to say about yourself? Just a brief introduction. People, they see your face. Mm-hmm. They know your name is Gino.
Right.
They know Geno Powerlifting.
Right.
It's a Yankee guy from States.
Right.
I want you to tell whatever you want to tell. A little bit brief introduction about yourself.
Okay. I guess what I'd like to say is I got started in powerlifting. I'd like to say how I got started. I got started in powerlifting when I used to run dance contests and bikini contests at the beach on the Jersey Shore in New York and New Jersey. And a guy that owned a gym in my town, a powerlifting gym, with a lot of world champions and national champions in this little gym in New Jersey, saw me. He was at the beach that day, and he saw me running a bikini contest. And he said, I'd love you to come to my gym and announce a little small powerlifting contest. And I said, no way. I don't, this was almost 20 years ago, Harnek.
Yes.
I said, I know nothing about powerlifting. I said, I don't want to do that. It's not my thing, And he said, please.
People use a phrase, people say, it's not my league.
Yeah, right. Precisely.
It's not my league. No, not my
Precisely. And I said, I said, I do bikini contests. And he said, I need you to bring some of that enthusiasm. He says, they can be kind of dry and boring. He said, could you bring some of that enthusiasm to a powerlifting contest? I said, I don't know, it's tough. And he said, please give it a try. Yeah. And I said, okay. And I announced the first meet, co-announced the first meet with another powerlifter. He did the play-by-play. I kind of added some color, as you know I can do occasionally. And then the powerlifters were very gracious. They said, we thank you for volunteering your time to work with us, so we're going to work with you. They gave me a membership at the gym, and I did powerlifting 3 days a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I did the 3 lifts with them. So I learned powerlifting, I learned the business, and it just kind of grew from there. I went from working in this little gym to a state championship or a provincial, like here in Canada, to a national, and then to a world championship. So that's a little bit about me. I have a business background. My background was finance, and then consumer promotions. I ran a lot of corporate events with some celebrities, Britney Spears and Ringo Starr, people like that. Ran a lot of fun corporate events, corporate sponsorships. But I'm doing this full time now, and I am enjoying the ride, Harnek. Enjoying the ride very much so.
So now you are a provincial or state level referee.
Correct, provincial or state, yes.
And I ask you a straight question. Mm-hmm. Not precise to put you on the spot. Mm-hmm. What do you think of the referees? Is it a tough job and people complain, or how do you take it? Like when people say you fail the lift, people come running to you, hey, listen, how the hell you fail my lift? And if you pass the lift, the opponent come, oh, the lift wasn't any good, this and that. Not happen always.
Right.
But what do you think? Is really easy job, or you think it's a lot of pressure?
After taking my exam, my written and practical and passing, and actually working my first few meets as a referee, I gained completely different level of respect for what they go through, because you are nobody's friend when you're up there. As you said, you white light them, they love you. You red light them for legitimate reasons.
Yeah.
They are extremely competitive, and they want to know why, and they're going to call you out. And even when you're right, they can beat on you. And I don't mean physically. There's some big boys and girls out there are strong anyway. They can give you a tough time, and you have to have, as you do, I've gotten to know my friend here quite well, you have to have some thick skin when you become a referee, I'll tell you that. I don't need thick skin. I cheer everybody on when I'm on the microphone and they love me. But man, I have to put on a suit of armor when I get to the chair, because they can be pretty tough on you, and you have to be focused like a laser every single minute you're in that chair. So I commend you and all the other referees on the job you guys are doing with that.
More questions.
Yeah.
You speak all day, sometimes 2-3 days, 1 day, like 10 hours, 15 hours.
10 to 15 hours.
And
correct, 14 hours.
do you think it can take toll? Hello, how are you, sir?
Oh, hello,
come
sir.
here,
I
come
texted
here.
you on Messenger right away.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I just saw it 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Come, say hello.
Yeah, it's my friend here. You want to say something?
Oh, well, I just finished my competition, first nationals. I got the 5th place. I got 15 kilo meat PR.
Yeah,
I totaled 1683.
yeah,
It gave me 412 wilts.
yeah. Okay.
Wow.
I'm going to give him a new name, guys. The tiny one, a little guy.
I'm sure he's heard that
That's just
before.
me, yeah.
No, he weighs just shy a little bit from 400 pounds, and so for me
390.
is really a tiny little guy.
Yeah.
How tall are you? 6'2", 6'3"?
6'3".
6'3", only like a 400 pounds.
Only.
So it's, we hardly see him when sitting between the chairs.
Yeah.
You can-
I blend in easily. That's what I'm good at.
Yeah.
You know,
He's a very nice guy. He trained at Windsor area. A good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And
I want to reiterate what you said. I don't put these two adjectives together. Very big and very nice. And
no,
very rare.
okay. It was a joke,
Thank you,
guys.
sir.
It was a joke. Let me say something now, which is really true. He's a big boy, and I call him not on his face. I don't want to spoil him. I
Yeah.
call him a gentle giant. He's a really gentleman. He's a big boy, really gentleman, and I like him. Regardless, we give him red light. He never become upset. He accept the referee decision
stronger.
because he know people are honest among him or
real-
around him.
A real
And,
professional.
I still
sir.
consider him a little bit beginner, because don't look at his lifts. He's still a beginner. A lot of potential. He has. You already admitted that he has a lot to learn yet. And I think when he hone his technique and probably diet and whatever, he could be really strong. He has the potential.
Thank you, sir.
So I say good luck to him,
Yeah.
and I will see him often, probably in the big championships
Thank you,
to
sir.
come. Good luck,
come
and
back
very
stronger.
very nice to talk to you always.
Same here.
sir.
Thank you,
yeah.
sir.
Okay.
Nice
All
to
right.
meet you.
See you later.
See if the phone it's still running. Anyway, yeah, I was asking you, like, you speak 10 hours,
10
8
to-
hours,
yeah.
whatever. I will say probably 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 hours a day, sometime for 2, 3 days, 2, 6, 7 days. Do you think sometimes you feel your vocal cords are tired, or it can take toll on your vocal cords in the long run? That you ever think that way?
Yes, and I have a few secrets that I've never shared with anybody, but I'd like to share a few with my friend Harnek. A couple of little things that I do, especially if it's a long week and a lot of hours every day, as this Canadian National Championship was. In no particular order, sometimes I will sneak the volume on the mixing board up a little bit.
Yes.
That I don't have to shout as loud.
Yes.
I can lower my voice, and there's not much of a as much of a stress on the vocal cords. At night, I drink a lot of tea with honey.
Yes,
It coats
yeah.
the throat.
Yeah.
And I also stay away from alcohol. because the alcohol can put a strain on you as
Yes,
well.
yeah.
And I try to get as much sleep as I can, which is tough when you're working a 16, 17, 18-hour day. But those are some of my tricks of the trade to try to not give as much of a strain and stress on the vocal cords and try to make it through the week. And I have not always made it. I've had a pretty hoarse throat by the end of the week, and I've been speaking like this, trying to get the big boys going, on that Friday or Saturday. I sound like the Godfather, but I do try to get through with some of those.
I don't want to say too much on this topic. It's my habit, when I ask the question, I ask really blunt, straight question.
Mm-hmm.
And I try not to put people on spot.
Right.
Many people see you, you have some sort of like I wouldn't say funny, but strange clothes to attract people,
For
to
sure.
make your trademark kind of thing.
For sure.
But, people think this way or not, I don't know. But people see you, you come and running around and shouting and encouraging people. People like you, people love you the way you talk. And you have to know the lifters. You have to remember their name, which everybody cannot do that.
Right.
Some people probably are gifted,
Right.
because sometimes you want to say something, people will think, oh, I could have said that. You
Yeah.
cannot do that.
Yeah.
You say it or you don't.
Correct.
And besides, this is okay. Some people say, oh, that singer, he can sing 8 hours.
Right.
He can sing I know they practice every day,
Right.
like up to screaming their mouth out of the
Right.
lungs.
Right.
That's one thing. Now people probably don't think this way. I don't know. In powerlifting, a lot of pressure is on the jury. You know that people
Very much
complain,
so, yeah.
and a lot of pressure on the referees. But physically, people think the technical controller who stand there 3, 4 hours, 5 hours, or 6 hours,
It's one of the tougher
it's very hard on their feet and the blood and this and that. Now, I don't think many people ever think that Gino is going around and standing on his feet 10, 12 hours a day, and they expect you to be there 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, because I see the referee who does afternoon session. Sometimes he complains, hey, listen, don't put me tomorrow morning,
Right.
because I'm tired already, I want to take rest.
Right.
For example, today, the competition, like a weigh-in start 5:30.
Right.
But the competition will start 7:30.
Right.
But you still have to be there latest, say 7:15.
Right.
So maybe last night you went to bed, say 11, 12 o'clock.
Correct.
And you standing like 12, 15 hours.
Yes, sir.
And I shouldn't use this kind of language up here. Sometimes I feel sorry for you. Like I see you put your like a leg up there,
You
this
are
and
right.
that. I understand. I say, listen, Gino is tired. Some people say, oh, no, he's good and this and that. But I'm not trying to offend you, but you are not a Superman.
Correct.
You're not a Superman, and it's very hard for me. If you ask me to follow you,
Yeah.
I can't. Once I said to someone, he has probably 2.5, 3 years old son. And I said to him, we are old. He said, no, don't say that. I said, I can prove it right now. He said, how? I said, I give you $1,000. Since morning you don't do nothing. Just run after your son
Wow.
all day. Show me that. And don't stop him. Don't stop him.
Yeah.
And I ask people to follow Gino. Don't even speak, nothing. Just follow
Just-
around and stand there 10, 15 hours. How you cope that, how you feel, I want to hear something from you, your real feeling, what I said. No offense, by the way.
None taken.
Yeah.
Two-part answer to that. One, it can be brutal some days. And again, I'm not trying to compare myself to a lifter who's got 1,000 pounds on his back or pulling 800 pounds off of the floor. But it's the longevity, like you were saying, of standing on your feet, standing on a hard cement floor. I would go to sleep at night, Harnek, and I would put my feet up, and I would have a tough time falling asleep because of the pulsating and the throbbing on the
Yeah.
soles of my feet. And it's tough, and a lot of people don't realize how tough it is, especially when I let them, I say, you want to speak on the microphone and say a few things? Go ahead. And as soon as they get on that microphone, they go, and I go, it's a lot tougher than it looks, isn't it? You know, you don't know until you grab that microphone.
I know.
How tough it can be. And my friend here, the reason I love him so much is he can see from across the room. I'm usually on the other side of the room from him. I'm announcing on one side, he's the jury on the other side, and he's one of the few people out of all the competitions all over the world that says, wow, I can see him shifting his feet. You're a very sensitive person, in addition to a very strong person, I might say, as to how my feelings are in terms of physically hurting when my lower back hurts for standing so long and my feet are throbbing and I have a sinus headache because I'm screaming and it puts the pressure on the throat and the sinuses. But I like to try to give each lifter the same type of enthusiasm, not just the big super heavyweight or the big superstar that's pulling for the national record, the person that's going there for their first time and getting a PB or a PR. I like to give them the same energy that I give everyone else. So I'm operating at a very high level most of the time, and I can tell you, when I get back from a competition, it takes me 1 or 2 days of sleeping most of the day for a couple of days and just unwinding just to get back to normal. And then before I know it, I'm off to the next competition and we start all over again.
I want to say something, like when you said each lifter, you try to encourage the same way.
Yes, sir.
I fully agree with you. By the way, most of the people who will watch this video, they know me. I'm a referee for almost 30 years.
Right.
And I competed for 33 years myself. And I'm in powerlifting since 1972, 74. So almost 43 years, 44 years.
Yeah.
I don't like when sometimes people say, oh, clean the bar, the guy is going to lift 700, 800 pounds, and this and this and that. I appreciate their hard work. I'm not saying I don't, but I want to let people know. Someone weighs 300, 350 pounds, and he deadlifting 800, or he squat 800, 850, 900 pounds.
Right.
A tiny girl, 100 pounds, 110 pounds, she's squatting like 240 or 270 pounds. The pressure on that tiny little girl or a man 3 times, 4 times, one Russian lifter, I think you know Sergey, he squat more than 5 times his body weight.
Sergey Fedorosienko.
So he squat almost like 500 to 600 pounds, depending if he's classic lifting, unequipped or
equipped.
So pressure on his body is same what a 300-400 lifter has, because if we look at it like a 400 pound lifter,
totally agree with you.
he's squatting only 1,000 pounds, is still 2.5 times.
Yes.
The other guy is squatting like 4 times.
4 times his body
so
weight.
when people cheer and clap and jump and clean the bar, this and that for the heavy lifter, I'm not saying shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But treat other lifters
Everybody
with respect and encouraging the same way. And you said in your duty, not written duty, like a mental or what I say, like your honesty, this and that.
Yes, sir.
You have to give them the same kind of credit.
Correct.
You have to create the same kind of atmosphere, I will say. And did you ever think, like a tiny girl, she need more encouragement than a big giant?
Yes.
It's a real big giant going.
Run strong. Yes, to be honest with you, I do feel that sometimes, especially the females, you know, I'm doing a recent series on Instagram. I just signed on to Instagram. I'm getting caught up in technology, and I'm focusing every few weeks on a different female lifter and their accomplishments, because I feel that some of the lighter weight lifters, male and female, but especially the females, don't get the same exposure and credit that some of the big super heavyweights get. So I try to focus on them and kind of give them the same type of opportunity to see what powerlifting can do for them, and let people realize I'm repeating what he's saying now, but man, the Wei Lin is the young lady from Chinese Taipei. You know, she went up there, she weighs barely 100 pounds, and she's squatting almost 400 pounds at the last national world championship in Orlando, Florida. man, oh man, that girl deserves as much credit, if not more, for every super heavyweight that goes
Yeah,
out,
we have
out there
Maria
and
T
squats
here.
1,000 plus.
Yeah,
Yes,
so we have Maria
Maria
T.
T. Maria T here in Canada, another case in point. These people I sat next to Maria T just at today's competition at the finals for the Canadian National Championship, and that woman could barely turn her neck to speak to me. She had to turn her whole body because she had put such a strain on her upper shoulder and her neck. They beat their bodies up just as much as the big boys do, and they deserve the same amount of respect and opportunity to grow in the sport of powerlifting.
I always talk about some lifters in this country. One girl you did not meet. She retired from competition. Joy Bird. She won the world championship, I believe, at least twice.
Right.
In IPF, and she won the best lifter award.
Never met her.
And she was inducted in Canadian Powerlifting Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
Last year. And we have quite a few, as I said, Maria T, Rhea Sten. Previous name, people remember Rhea Fowler.
Right.
I don't want to disrespect the girls or boys by mentioning the names.
Right.
I'm only giving you example. I have respect for each and every lifter, regardless they squat 50 pounds, or I consider every lifter who show up on the platform a champion. How many people can dare and come and lift on the platform? There was one girl, a really little girl. She's a teacher, Callie Bogies, but now her name is Callie Parsons. She's 2 times Open Women's World Championship, world champion,
Right.
IPF. And she doesn't even look like a lifter. What I'm trying to say, even if it's a big tough man or a tiny girl or a really soft-looking girl, or someone is squatting 400 or 50 pounds, I show them always the same respect as a good sportsman, and I always ask other people to help your sports people, like your teammate or not. When we go in the warm-up area, everybody is same. When I sit down on the referee chair, on the jury, everybody is same for me.
Yeah.
Because once you sit down there, you cannot take sides and this and that.
Right.
And I really appreciate that you show up, and I don't think you make any money out of it.
Very
and we
little.
really appreciate. And a few jobs or duties are not really that much appreciated by people. Even I'm a referee most of the time. Hardly people appreciate our job, because people, if I pass their lift, people who are beaten now by the lifter, they don't like us. They say, oh, lift should be failed and this and that. But if you fail the lift, they don't like you. So sometime I notice we go to the restaurant and you're sitting alone. And the lifter sitting there. They're sitting, they say, that guy's sitting over there. But I don't mind.
That's
because
a good
I know I'm promoting sport.
Right.
We don't cheat, and I want this sport to grow. Actually, I'm a sportsman. I want people to participate in sports, regardless what sport it is. Actually, I start to tell about myself. I'm supposed to be asking you the question.
I like hearing. I like back and forth dialogue. I'd like to say to you, if I may, he took the words right out of my mouth. If I told you how many times I have said at national championships, regardless of the country that I'm in, I say the same thing. Everyone that steps onto the platform that has qualified for a national championship is already a champion. And having said that, I'd like to say that I am also honored, and it's a pleasure that I have a friendship with Harnek, who I believe is a very principled and a very polite gentleman, and he does a tremendous amount of volunteering, from photography to video to refereeing to jury tabling for the sport of powerlifting. It's a pleasure getting to know you better and better over the years, and I look forward to a continued friendship in powerlifting with you.
And at the end, I will say thank you very much for your time. And Gino, he's always available to help people, regardless of powerlifting or not. And it's my honor to talk to him. And it's always very nice to see you. At the end, I want to add something. I don't want to say on his face, but I can cheat him because he doesn't understand Indian language. ਬਈ ਭਰਾਵੋ ਭੈਣੋ ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਨਮਸਤੇ ਜੀ। ਇਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਦੋਸਤ ਆ ਫਰੈਂਡ ਆ ਜੀਨੋ ਸਾਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਆ ਅਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਚੈਂਪੀਅਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਜੇ ਦੇਖੋਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਜੀਨੋ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋਗੇ। ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਲਾਈਵ ਸਟਰੀਮਿੰਗ 'ਤੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਜੀਨੋ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਨੂੰ। ਅਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਰਸਨਲੀ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਕੱਪੜਿਆਂ ਵੱਲ ਨਾ ਦੇਖੋ ਕਿ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਆ। ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਜੈਂਟਲਮੈਨ ਆ ਅਤੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗਾ ਫਰੈਂਡ ਆ ਅਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇਖਣ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ। ਦੈਨ once again I say thank you to you. It's an honor to see you all the time, every single time, and I'm hoping to see you if not before in the Toronto Super Show. I will be
see
there.
you soon at the Toronto Super
Yeah,
Show.
it's now it's March, April, May, so
Right.
like about 2 months.
Pretty soon.
And I will be humbled and thankful if you drop by at my home. I don't mind to give you ride to my home and drop you back.
I'm honored, and I look forward to that.
We will chat again and record and put on the internet again.
Fantastic. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you for your time.
All
Okay,
right.
you have a nice day.